करारविन्देन पदारविन्दं मुकारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वटस्य पत्रस्य पूटे शयानम्
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचारूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्मकारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते. Here this Arurukshor is one who is wishing to attain yoga. This Muni, the one who wants to attain yoga or wishes to attain yoga. Muni would mean a sage or a wise person who wants to attain yoga. Karma karana muchyate. He has to do actions. He cannot be without action. He has to keep doing his karma. The kartavya karma that he has to do. It is not running away to the Himalayas. This is not a path for that. This is doing your kartavya karma completely. So this is why I said yesterday that all these people who are sitting at home, all married people who are sitting at home, or all kinds of people who are doing their kartavya karma. This is the first line. Yoga rudasya tasyaiva shamak karana muchyate. And when yoga rudasya, when he becomes arud in yoga, when he gets established in yoga, shamak karana muchyate, that's when he renounces all actions, all sankalpas. He completely renounces his actions. Can renounce his sankalpas. Now this is as confusing as you can ever think of, that first you do all your action and then you renounce your action. But this is what we discussed yesterday also. Yesterday also I told you this shlok Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar ji explains it in such a way that until you catch your flight, keep running, show your boarding pass, go to the security check, collect your luggage, carry in luggage, put it in the right place, and now you have settled in the flight. Now when you have settled in the flight, what do you do then? Just drop everything. You will reach your destination. Just relax, just sit and be happy. You will reach your destination. This is how a yogi has to be. So here the path that Sri Krishna has said, Aru Rukshora Munir Yogam. Anyone who is wishing to attain the path of yoga, who wishes, and he said path of yoga and sannyasi, both are the same. There is no difference. Initially the difference was that the sannyasi, what he does, he detaches himself from the world. And what does the yogi do? He attaches himself to God. He says both are the same. There is no difference in them. If you have detached from the world, then you have to attach yourself to to the consciousness, and then only fill yourself with the same essence of the consciousness. Karma karana muchyate yoga rudasya tasyaiva shamak karana muchyate. Now remain peaceful. Now be peaceful and renounce all your sankalpas. This is what he is advising in this. And then we come to shloka number 4. Yada hi nendriyartheshu न कर्म स्वनुषज्यते सर्व संकल्प संन्यासी योगारूढस्तदोच्यते. Very beautiful shloka, very deep shloka. Yoga rudasta dochyate. Who is the one whom we can say has attained yoga? Who is that? Shri Krishna is giving a definition of this person who has completely attained yoga, who has become yoga arud, who has attained this state of yoga. He says that यदा हि नेन्द्रियार्थेषु न कर्म स्वनुसज्जते. So all his actions, na indriyartheshu, all his actions are not only to just fulfill his indriyas, his sense pleasures, his sense organs. If all his actions, if all the actions, he says this particular yoga root person, the person who has attained to yoga, is somebody whose actions are not only is not the right word. His actions are not, I should say, his actions are not to fulfill his sense pleasures. Yada, so that is like when na indriyartheshu na karma svanushyajyate, that his actions are not to fulfill his sense pleasures. So he is not just running his actions. In the previous shloka, he said that this yogi has to do the actions. He has to perform his actions. But what actions? What actions should he perform? So here he says his actions are not to fulfill only the sense pleasures. Not to fulfill the sense pleasures. This only is not mentioned in this. So not to fulfill the sense pleasures. Sarva sankalpa sannyasi. He has dropped all sankalpas. He has renounced all his sankalpas, all his wishes, and he's free. He's totally free when he has renounced all this. This person, this particular person becomes yoga rudasta dochyate. This is the person who is fully into this yoga, and he has attained yoga, is what Sri Krishna is saying. And if you see that, sometimes a seeker's life, like all the sadhaks who are listening to Bhagavad Gita, you will see that sometimes you have to be involved in external practices, and then there are stages when you have to be engaged in internal practices. So at one point you are working outside and going to office, you are eating food, and at one point you're sitting quietly and you have taken a state of samadhi. So these two, internal and external, pravriti and nivriti, is what the person does in his life. The seeker usually performs his life, but here he says that as you go in the higher stages, what happens? The sage is completely quiescent, completely silent. He's at rest with his self. He is merged with the consciousness completely. So a sage, the Muni, he performs his actions from that space inside. And until this particular stage is reached, one cannot renounce his external practices at all, because then otherwise he becomes a bahir sannyasi. He wears orange clothes, he dresses like a sannyasi, he may grow his beard, he may grow his hair, but it is only outside, it is inside still that the tree, the root has not taken shape. So he says, so if you renounce these external practices before that full blossom stage of yoga comes, this premature renunciation would prevent progress. In fact, it will not give you progress. It will just, if you leave your kartavya karma, it will not give you progress. And this is true even of all your worldly objects and duties. So it is more wise and sensible, according to these two shlokas, to cultivate the proper attitude towards external activities. This is very important, and you make sure that you give them a correct scale of values. Like if you say that, should I attend Bhagavad Gita session or should I have dinner? So what is going to give you more peace? What is going to establish you completely in silence? That activity, give it a higher value, give it a correct scale, Make it prime time in your life. Make sure that you do that. And slowly, slowly, when you start doing this, the objects automatically drop away. Their values, external object values deflate automatically, and then you, in true light, you can see yoga.
मनोरस्कं वनमालाविराजितं शङ्खचक्रधरं देवं कृष्णं वन्दे